Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going on a journey into the void. Not a physical void like outer space, but a conceptual one. Nothingness. It sounds simple, right? Nothing. But the more you think about it, the stranger and more complex it becomes. We'll explore how different cultures and thinkers have grappled with this seemingly empty concept, and how it has shaped our understanding of everything else. Prepare to have your assumptions challenged. And if you find this journey intriguing, give that like button a tap. It's a little something that isn't nothing. If you subscribe, you will see more concepts that are not nothing, and it is a helpful and free way to support the channel. I'm excited to get started. What comes to your mind when you think of the word nothing? Leave a comment down below with your initial reactions to help drive the direction of this conversation. Our story begins not with something, but with the yearning for something. Imagine early humans looking up at the night sky, filled with stars. They saw patterns, told stories, and sought explanations. But what was beyond the stars? What was before the world they knew? These questions, though unformulated in precisely our modern terms, hinted at the possibility of a state of non-existence, of nothingness. Think of it as the raw ingredient for every creation myth, every tale of Genesis. In essence, people needed nothing to start from when explaining something. In ancient Greek philosophy, the concept of nothing wasn't really something that was grappled with directly. Instead, philosophers focused on being and becoming. Parmenides, for example, argued that what is, and what is not. In other words, nothingness was simply impossible to conceive of, because to conceive of it would be to give it being. This idea had a profound influence, shaping Western thought for centuries. It made it very difficult to understand nothingness as a starting point. However, other Greek thinkers, like the atomists Leucippus and Democritus, took a different approach. They believed that the universe was composed of atoms and empty space. This empty space was a kind of nothingness, allowing atoms to move and interact. This gave nothing a purpose. Without it, there would be no movement or interaction, and therefore it was a vital aspect of existing. Moving east, we find different perspectives. In Buddhism, the concept of sunyata, often translated as emptiness or voidness, plays a crucial role. Sunyata isn't simply the absence of something. It's the understanding that all things are impermanent, interconnected, and ultimately lack inherent existence. This is a very different kind of nothingness from the Greeks, and it is a highly important perspective to understand when attempting to grapple with the greater concepts of existence. In Hinduism, particularly in Advaita Vedanta philosophy, the concept of Maya is related to the concept of nothingness. Maya refers to the illusionary nature of the world we perceive. While not strictly nothingness, Maya suggests that our experience is ultimately a veil, concealing the true reality of Brahman, the ultimate unchanging reality. This highlights the idea of how our perception limits understanding the deeper reality, including nothingness. Back in the West, during the Middle Ages, the Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam heavily influenced the concept of nothingness. God was often seen as creating the universe, ens ex nihilo, out of nothing. This raised profound questions. If God created everything from nothing, what was God doing before creation? And how can something come from absolutely nothing? These questions led to intricate theological debates. Some argued that nothing shouldn't be taken literally, but rather as a state of absolute potentiality within God. Others emphasized the absolute power and freedom of God to create something from complete non-existence. Regardless, the concept of creation nihilo asterisk remained a central tenet of these faiths. The Renaissance saw a renewed interest in classical philosophy, but also a burgeoning scientific revolution. As scientists began to explore the natural world through observation and experimentation, the concept of nothing took on new dimensions. The idea of a perfect vacuum, devoid of all matter, became a subject of scientific inquiry. What exists within the vacuum? Is it nothing, or does something else reside there? Isaac Newton's laws of motion, for example, described how objects move in space, implying the existence of a void where objects could exist without being impeded. However, the nature of this void remained a mystery. It also raised questions about if the void existed eternally or if it was a creation of a creator. Either way, the implications for nothingness are profound. If you have made it this far, thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe and like if you're enjoying this. In the 18th and 19th centuries, philosophers like Immanuel Kant explored the limits of human understanding. Kant argued that we can only know the world as it appears to us, not as it is in itself. This raised questions about the possibility of knowing anything about nothingness, since it lies beyond the realm of our experience. Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel, a hugely influential philosopher, approached nothingness dialectically. For Hegel, nothingness wasn't simply the absence of being. Instead, it was a necessary moment in the process of becoming. Being and nothingness, he argued, are intertwined, constantly transforming into one another. Understanding Hegel is crucial to understanding modern philosophy. The 20th century brought forth radical new ideas about nothingness. Existentialist philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Martin Heidegger grappled with the anxiety and absurdity of human existence in a world without inherent meaning. For Sartre, nothingness was a fundamental aspect of human consciousness, a source of both freedom and dread. Heidegger explored the concept of nihilation, the process by which being reveals itself against the backdrop of nothingness. He argued that confronting nothingness allows us to truly appreciate the meaning of being, of existence. These are some very difficult philosophical concepts, but their explorations are vital to understand and rewarding in the long run. Meanwhile, in the realm of physics, the development of quantum mechanics revolutionized our understanding of the vacuum. Quantum field theory suggests that even empty space isn't truly empty. It's filled with virtual particles that constantly pop in and out of existence. This quantum vacuum is a far cry from the classical notion of a perfect void. It makes the definition of nothingness exceptionally difficult to nail down. This discovery challenged the very notion of nothingness in physics. Even in the absence of matter and energy, the quantum vacuum possesses inherent properties and fluctuations. This has profound implications for our understanding of the universe, from the origin of cosmic inflation to the nature of dark energy. String theory, a theoretical framework in physics, takes this idea even further. It proposes that fundamental particles are not point-like, but rather tiny vibrating strings. The space in which these strings vibrate may have more dimensions than we can perceive, further complicating our understanding of nothingness. Is the extra-dimensional space nothing, or is it just undetectable? Cosmology, the study of the origin and evolution of the universe, also grapples with the concept of nothingness. The Big Bang theory suggests that the universe originated from an extremely hot, dense state. But what existed before the Big Bang? Was it truly nothing? Or was there something else? Something beyond our current understanding? Some theories propose a multiverse, an infinite collection of universes, each with its own physical laws and constants. If the multiverse exists, then our universe might be just one bubble in a vast sea of possibilities, making nothingness even more relative. It is interesting how much philosophy has to grapple with physics and science in general. Beyond physics and philosophy, the concept of nothingness also appears in art and literature. Abstract expressionist painters, for example, often sought to express pure feeling and emotion through non-representational forms, blurring the lines between something and nothing. The use of blank space and negative space becomes the focus of the art, making the nothingness the something. In literature, writers have used the concept of nothingness to explore themes of existential alienation, meaninglessness, and the search for identity. Think of Samuel Beckett's plays, which often depict characters trapped in absurd situations, confronting the void of existence. It's the meaninglessness of our own existence that adds meaning to his works. Even in everyday language, we use the word nothing in a variety of ways. We say, "I have nothing to do," or "that means nothing to me." These phrases reveal how deeply ingrained the concept of nothingness is in our thinking. It becomes difficult to use the word when you attempt to define it, since it is so pervasive. But does nothingness truly exist? Can we ever fully grasp what it means? Perhaps nothingness is simply the limit of our understanding, the point beyond which our minds cannot go. Or perhaps it's a fundamental aspect of reality, as essential as being itself. What do you believe? Do you think nothingness is real? What is its purpose? Share in the comments down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this voyage into nothingness something special. The journey through the history of nothingness reveals how deeply intertwined this concept is with our understanding of existence, consciousness, and the universe itself. It challenges us to question our assumptions, to push the boundaries of our thinking, and to embrace the unknown. It requires us to be comfortable with discomfort. From ancient myths to quantum physics, the concept of nothingness has evolved and transformed over time. It's a concept that continues to fascinate and perplex us, reminding us of the vastness of the unknown and the limits of human knowledge. The idea of nothingness also pushes the boundaries of what we call knowledge. So, the next time you find yourself contemplating the nature of reality, take a moment to consider the concept of nothingness. It might just open your mind to new possibilities and perspectives. Remember, even in the face of apparent emptiness, there's always something to discover. As we conclude this exploration, let's consider this. Is the fear of nothingness what drives us to create, to build, to leave our mark on the world? Is our inherent fear of nothingness what gives our lives purpose? Food for thought, isn't it? If you like this kind of thought-provoking content, remember to like and subscribe. And be sure to share this with someone who enjoys the deep dive. Ultimately, the history of nothingness is a reflection of our own human quest for meaning, understanding, and purpose. It's a journey into the heart of what it means to be human, to grapple with the mysteries of existence, and to confront the ultimate question: what is the meaning of it all? It's a question with no easy answer. So thank you for joining me on this expedition into the void. I hope it has sparked your curiosity and challenged your perspectives. The concept of nothingness, though seemingly empty, is actually full of possibilities. It's the canvas upon which we paint our understanding of everything else. What will you paint upon it? Now, I'd love to hear from you. Has your perspective on nothingness changed after listening to this presentation? What aspects of nothingness do you find most intriguing or perplexing? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's continue the conversation. Thanks again for listening.